Greetings and salutations, and welcome to a Let's Play of EU4 with RedBstrd. And we're going to try to get the academical achievement with Athens. So we're doing this on normal difficulty, as it's a rather hard one, with historical lucky nations. We are going to put on the dynamic province names to see if we can get all these nice names. I guess as Athens, we're not actually going to be Greek, it's going to be Italian names, Lombard names. But that'll be kind of fun. So we're going to play Iron Man, of course. And I have already done this one, and I started doing it again for a video, but the first video crashed. So we're restarting. I wasn't very far into it, so that wasn't a problem. I wasn't doing very well, I should note. Okay, so what's the situation with us? Well, first of all, we are a subject nation of Byzantium. And Byzantium is quite likely going to get overrun within the next couple of years by the Ottomans, so we're going to have to be ready by that point. So try getting our independence. And we are allowed one additional troop. I should note that as a subject nation we get 3 troops added to our force limit. But once we're independent, it's always going to be 3 higher. So for subjects, it's always +3, plus the value of whatever your provinces give you. For independent nations, it's always double that, so +6. And the same applies here. So subject nation would get 6, and an independent nation would get 12. So we'll be able to make a lot more ships when we're independent. And so what do we want to do right away? Well, first we've got a lazy merchant. So let's get him transferring trade power. We collect in Ragusa, so we're just going to push trade power there. Okay, now we do want to be hostile to Byzantium, and let's send them an insult, then try butting up to anyone who doesn't like them, potentially doesn't like them. Our best shot here is going to be Genoa. If you really want to make it successful, you wait to see in a game if Genoa has rivaled Byzantium, because they're the most likely person to be able to support your independence and help you out in that war for independence. Venice is much more likely to be a little hostile. I'm glad that they're not yet, but they probably will be. So it doesn't look like we have any options here. No one has yet set Byzantium as a rival. And let's get some money from our burghers. This won't yet give them enough influence where we can demand administrative support. This would get us military support though, so we'll pass that. Okay, and Poland opted not for the Union. That's not great because I kind of want Poland as a counterbalance to Ottoman power. And let's just anticipate various people who could be helping us once we get our independence. It's very strange that no one has rivaled them. And the other people that could potentially be friendly to us, who would all be rivals of Venice. So potentially Austria, actually. We went over the diplomats to work on them first. We're going for these countries. And let's just keep an eye on the Ottomans. and then know when they take their mission to conquer Constantinople. So we got them as a nation of special interest. We definitely want Venice, Genoa. We want to know what's going on with Hungary. And Austria we should start as, because they're the emperor. Go for Milan, Aragon, and Papacy. And since we do have some coasts down here that Tunis could raid, we're going to set this fleet to hunt pirates here in Ragusa. As we have those troops made. We could go into debt to get the 3 more troops we're going to want to make. And if we're not paying our troops, we could get another 2 right away, so we're going to do that. And then I'm thinking we should get another galley. Actually, let's make that 2, just in case we have the time. So there's definitely an ideal situation that we would hope for here. That would be having Genoa support our independence. Then we could do it during war. But I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, we're going to be losing a little bit of money each month. But once we're independent, it'll be much easier to pay that off. Without anyone supporting our independence, we will have to declare our War of Independence before the Ottomans attack Byzantium. So ideally we would get this ship done. I'm not sure if we're going to have that timeline. Get worried when the Ottomans attack, they usually will put 1 unit of 14 there and 1 unit of 14 there. So this guy going east indicates that they're quite likely going to try recovering some of their cores. And that's really good for us. Okay, they're going for it. We have to be ready. So we're going to start paying our troops. We got to get our fleets back. And as soon as these 8 days are up, we are declaring our independence. Actually, we're going to get a naval leader first. Okay, who's our leader? He's 220. It's not great. We can't work with that. And that's just as bad. Well, okay, so we are going to declare this. Okay, any ships that we can sink here would be great. because it's going to be hard for us to win this. Okay, we gotta pull these ships back. Hope that the Ottomans jump in. Okay, let's send out these ones. If we can hold them off another 3 days, that'd be great. And we're never going to be able to let those get finished. So let's plan for taking out a loan here and getting a unit of mercs. Okay, so our morale is at least full. So let's get these ships back. We did hurt their navy, so that's really nice. But one cog is not going to be enough to inflict any kinds of serious damage. Okay, but they pulled back. We can't attack in the highlands here. Okay, and the Ottomans went for Albania instead. They completely trolled us. Okay, so we're going to push on and see if we can wipe them here. Okay, so that's about as well as we could have hoped for it to go. And we're just going to repair these ships and get ready for the naval battle to protect our coasts. Do need 6,000 troops here. Fortunately, we do have the manpower to get it. And let's see what Venice's attitude towards us is nice. If we're at peace, we could join their trade league, and I'd really like to do that. This guy isn't doing us much good, so let's see if we could try getting some sort of royal marriage. Not yet. We're going to go for befriending Hungary right away. I'm going to reduce that just so our manpower growth is as high as possible, and we're gonna have to do this fight. I don't know where they're loading Achaia. Why don't we leave one guy behind, take this defensive territory. We're not going to cause them enough losses here when they pull out of there. Okay, so we can build up our fleet, and I think it would be worth taking out a couple loans. Take another galley if we can. Oh, we need 100 sailors. Okay, since we got raided, we lost that. Wish I hadn't taken out loans for that purpose. Okay, so we got the improved relations. We're going to try solidifying our relations with the papacy as they are a potential ally. And we could get a royal marriage as long as we indicate that we are threatened by the Ottomans. I think that'll put Hungary over the threshold, not quite yet. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see what the Ottomans try doing now. We have repaired our ships. And we still have them marked as a nation of special interest. Actually, I should leave that there until the end of the year. See if we can engage part of their fleet. Okay, so Ottomans have attacked Byzantium, and they'll be sending their fleet in here. Let's make our clergy estate more loyal to us. Okay, now we don't have to worry about any more naval invasions from Byzantium. I guess we're going to pull our fleet out here. We definitely want to capture this before the Ottomans take Constantinople, as we don't want this to become their new capital. Otherwise it'll get the capital fort, and we'll need 9,000 troops, and we just can't support that. We can't even afford these mercenaries, honestly. But we need to get this fort down as quickly as possible. And our goal will be to get our independence, grab these two provinces, and hopefully cancel some Byzantine cores if they have any still. No, they don't. So canceling Byzantine cores up in this area would be really nice, just to keep the Ottomans off our back. I mean, there is a strategy that we could just try to keep Athens. Okay. So we do have 100% here, which is nice because we can get our independence. We can grab these provinces. And it looks like we can't force them to revoke any cores on Greek territory. That's not ideal. Okay, I think we are going to have to deal with these rebels, so I'm not going to decrease autonomy. We can't afford this building, so we have to get rid of it. We're going to give both of these provinces to the clergy to reduce unrest. Well, yeah. And we're getting rid of the mercenary that we can't afford, to be replaced by troops. That way. basically can't afford. But the reason why I'm going for that is we need to look stronger on paper. So ideally we could get them as an ally, but that's not happening. So we're going for royal marriage with Hungary, and hoping that that turns into an alliance, and that Austria does not get the union over. Okay, our next ally that we really want to pick up is the papacy. It looks like we're not going to be able to get an alliance with Genoa, so we can stop worrying about that, and just hope that Venice does not gun for us. So really the big two threats to our independence at this point are the Ottomans and Venice. So we are going to react appropriately. And by that, I mean trying to get an alliance system aimed at protecting us against those countries. Poland could potentially be a friend, but they didn't get their unions, so actually let's go for that. They haven't rivaled Hungary, so that makes our life easier. I definitely want to get our stability up to 0, or if possible, +1. There's only so much that we can do. Okay. I don't think I replace the loan. I think I drop our maintenance and try to get another unit of troops, and then worry about paying off loans. I want to get us up to our force limit for rebel suppression, and to look as strong on paper as we can to ward off attacks from Venice and the Ottomans, and to get us allies. Now getting like a Diplo advisor would be really helpful for that purpose, but we just can't afford it. Don't like that. Not one bit. I want to stop for a second and make sure that our video is recording fine. It looks like it's working for us. Okay, so this is getting converted. Got our relations topping off with Hungary next month. And Venice has turned hostile. Okay, we can't quite get this royal marriage yet, sadly. But Venice hostile to us. Why don't we put that we're threatened by him, and see if we can get some allies. Austria might actually be game for it. Be nice if we could convert something, but this will keep our rebels down and speed up the conversions, so That's what we have to do. Alright, so we're only 25 ducats in debt. Sounds like a lot, and it is proportionally quite a bit of income. We're going to be losing money, but if we go to war, people will probably send us money, so at least there's that. And once we deal with these rebels, we can drop the maintenance. Or once we get our conversions done, either way. Okay, so the Ottomans have fabricated as much as they possibly can on this. Well, no, they can do this, but they're actively fabricating on this even after we got our independence, so they're going to come knocking eventually. I'm not opposed to a relocation strategy, but Fezzan, which is our most logical choice, would be very difficult for us, given that they're guaranteed by Tunis and allied to the Mamluks. Okay, that brings down our expenses just a little. And we nearly have this royal marriage, which will then lead to an alliance. And with that done, we'll have a lot more security. Maybe it won't. Eventually, I think that'll lead to an alliance. Okay, so at least now we have Hungary and we have Milan. So that reduces the cards in Venice's hand relative to us quite a bit. And all they really have to hold is this, but we're working with what we've got. Again, this unrest is a serious issue. The money that we're losing is a serious issue. But honestly, the chance of rebels wrecking us is much higher than the chance of us going bankrupt. So we're dealing with the most pressing issues first. Get alliances, get our provinces under control, and then we'll sort out the financial situation. Okay, no time to wait. We have got to start converting the next one. I am going to send this emissary to the Pope, get some more papal influence. If nothing else, it'll help us take this forgive usury, to pay off our loans, bring down our inflation, and all that sort of stuff. We're almost at the point where we can get a royal marriage with Austria. And I'd really like to get more ships. Well, we do have a little bit of money. Let's get a ship just to ward off attack. And we've got a few sailors. Back. We'll just lose the admin points. We need that full value of this province. We can't afford to let our force limits drop. Okay, so we're going to top off relations here with Hungary again. And work on our mission. Okay, lost that leader who was very good. And Venice is fabricating on us. So Naxos has a claim here, so they could go to war at any point with us. And I do want to set this trade ship to go home at war. Okay, we're nearly to the point that we can get that royal marriage. Okay, so now Achaia is the only place where we need to stick our troops. We have the royal marriage, but that doesn't lead to an alliance quite yet. Hopefully that will change. I'm going to top off our relations with Hungary. And at least these rebels are less likely to rise up. Okay, Poland is offering us alliance. We will happily take it. Now we have an alliance with Hungary, Poland, and Milan. That puts us in really good shape against Venice. They can still win us navally, and that's really all they need to do. Oh, did they? Okay, I take that back. We lost Hungary as an ally. So let's top off relations with Milan. Sorry, I'm just checking on the recording, make sure it's going well. And we are half an hour into it. We've gotten our independence, we've tripled our country in size, we've gotten some critical alliances, and we're nearly to the point that we can start paying off our loans in a meaningful way, drop our army maintenance, and so on. Okay, so Austria isn't yet interested in allying us, but we can hope for the best in that regard. I'm wondering what it would take to get the papacy in here. We tell them that we're threatened by doing this. No. Okay, we're gonna leave this guy improving. Well, let's improve relations with Venice. It's probably futile. But we now have all of our stuff cored. We're trying to convert the second province. Once our religious unity gets up a little bit higher, that will be really good. I'm going to crank our stability up one more. And we are not going to culturally shift to Greek, because we could always have a second life over in Italy and try to form Tuscany or the Italian nation eventually. And we definitely, I don't think we're going to become a theocracy. We're not actually pulling any trade here, so I'm wondering if there's any better ideas. I don't really think there is, to be honest. We could collect trade in Ragusa, but I don't think that's going to make us any more money. And we're only losing one, so let's just repay a loan, and then we won't pay the interest on it. Whoa, that's a bold move. I wish you luck. I wish you all luck in the world. I wonder, let's see, we have said that we're threatened. And they might decide that we'd make a good ally now that they're at war with the Ottomans. So I'm going to top off relations with Austria. Okay, we're just trying to get that down to 0. So that those rebels tick down, then we can stop paying these troops. So Milan is buying, or is lending out their army to Austria as condottieri, which is really bad for us. I mean, we want the Ottomans to suffer. We want them to lose. But that will encourage Venice to be aggressive towards us if one of our allies is in a weaker position. Okay, so this should be now ticking downward after a month. No, not quite yet. Okay, I don't think we can really do that yet. And we complete our mission. I would love to do that. I would love to do that, but... well, we're going to go for this. If they stop being hostile. Okay, so this should be ticking downward. That's great for us. We can use that as an opportunity to reduce our maintenance. We're going to keep those. We're going to keep that diplomat here, and Poland is critical to our security. And we do owe 35 ducats. That's definitely not great. Okay, so how's this war going? The Ottomans are winning. And I don't like to see that. Okay, so we have no rebel chance there, so I'm going to drop this down to see if we can pay off those loans a little. And this is dangerous with Venice being so hostile. Okay, Milan is at peace. Poland's at peace, so we can probably count on their support. Milan, please stop sending your army there. Okay, if we could get a fourth ally, that would be really great. I would love the Pope as an ally. That doesn't seem to be happening. So who else doesn't like them? The Mamluks, potentially, but they would drag us into wars, so maybe Aragon. We're going to do this. And 3 points, I'll take them. It's such a low chance, and it's going to be costing us money each month. I don't like that. But we do need some religious unity, honestly. Okay, these Greek separatists, looks like they could form a Greece. If that happens, I would love to be able to invade it. Oh, we got this neighbor bonus, so I'm definitely taking this. No, we're not going to antagonize our clergy, even though it's potentially going to be a problem. Once you get to 70, you could get those events. That, piss them off or let them get 10 more influence. And if that's the case, I'll have to pull one of these provinces from the clergy. Well, we'll see. I might have other options. Might just be able to take the stability hit, or whatever it is. Okay, I'd love to increase our stability here to convert more quickly. And Venice is attacking Austria. So at least they're not attacking us. And that's not good for us long term. Neither of these developments involving Austria are. So I'm really hoping that this Aragonese issue pans out. Sorry about background noise. Sounds like... Let me mute that for a second. Sorry about that. The fiance is grinding up coffee beans for morning coffee. I didn't bother to close the door. Okay, so we could get this, but I don't think that's actually the smartest move. At this point, I'd be much more likely to try getting the papal legate to try picking up an ally. If anyone gets within, say, 5, like Austria here, then that's something I'll definitely consider doing. Whoa, Austria got wrecked. Okay, so that's we're going to have to go with it. Well, I don't think we'd be able to get both Austria and Aragon. I'm looking at Austria, even though they still have the union over Hungary, and they're eventually probably going to take this stuff back because they do have a good alliance system. I'd rather have Aragon at this point. Okay, where are these guys going? I need to look at that. Okay, so they are staying in Albenga's over here. They're staying in Genoa's territory, but they could very easily have gone for any other Greek cultural province. So that was cause for concern. Okay, so we could get Austria as an ally. I think our military tech might... Yeah, let's pick this one up. You know, I'm not afraid to go over our limit here. If they call me in, looks like I am joining this war. Okay, first thing we want to do, though, is we definitely want to mark this and this as being provinces of interest to us. And we're in the war. So let's just march our troops across over to here. Let's get our fleets together. And let's hope that we're the ones that benefit from this. So let's give all of our allies military access to our country. And I would increase trust here if I could. And that's scary. That is scary. But, you know, we've got Naples and Aragon on our side. So as long as our navies coordinate, we've got the naval side, and clearly our armies have the majority. We outnumber them nearly 3 to 1. It's just a question of access and cooperation. Obviously, these armies are not helping where they need to be. Okay, and they have moved. They have given this over to us. That doesn't mean that we'll get it in the peace deal. Still have to win the war. Yeah. Good thing we got that navy into port. I think our navy is gonna sit this one out to the extent possible. We are gonna pull out here for the moment. So if we keep their navy over here, the good thing is we'll control both sides of these straits, so we can move back freely. Now, we might as well actually even mark Crete as being of special interest, but I don't think we're going to be able to get anyone over. And if their navies are over here, then they're not picking up troops to drop off over here. Okay, so Naxos is ours. I mean, our alliance is occupying it. And this is about as good as we can expect. I'm definitely going to save this video, or save this game just in case. And our allies are now sieging out Corfu. The Ottomans are no longer hostile, so I'm going to set them as friendly and try to... Hopefully that doesn't disrupt my relations with any of my allies. If we get the alert that anyone's thinking about breaking the alliance. Okay, we need to get in here. Okay, and I don't think any of those losses were ours. Our ships look like they're in pretty good shape. Let's try moving over here. I'm definitely worried about this Venetian fleet. If I see them pull out port, I'll turn down the speed. But I do want to kill this galley before it meets up with another fleet or with an admiral, and I do want this to be done. So hopefully they'll be able to eject these Venetian troops from here. And we're going to improve relations with everyone that we can. We'll just cycle through them all. Improve our prestige, that's not happening. Yeah, the bad thing about picking up most of these territories is that they're not Catholic. So we're going to get these ships back. That's not good. We could end up losing a ship here. And next we're going to improve relations here. So Transylvanian separatists they are. No, we needed you to go up here. Okay, if this fleet gets defeated again and sent back, I will try landing troops on Crete. I should have done that instead of sending my fleet over here. Let's see, what do we have? I think we might as well get a galley. Okay, so Aragon has claimed that island. I think they probably won it, so we're going to stop running it. We really don't want to anger any of our allies. Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm going to follow through with that plan. So I can see their fleet engaged here, and Aragon's fleet is trying to deal with them. So we'll land our troops and try to help out with that. Okay, so let's break off the injured guy, leave him in port, see if we can deal with this ship, merge up our navies, and try to cooperate with Aragon's navy. Actually, let's pick these troops up. We might not get another opportunity to get them back. If there's rebels, we can't, you know, deal with them with 2,000 troops. Okay, I can't justify picking these troops up and trying to move them over to Europe. Now, it looks like they've got that under control anyway. So we're going to hold to the plan of trying to cooperate with their navies. Yeah, this gamble of allying Austria pays off. It could be one of the best outcomes, because it will drastically weaken Venice, and it looks like Genoa isn't really going to be a threat to us. So our big security threat will be the Ottomans, who have stopped being hostile to us for the moment. And they still have these claims on 2 provinces, so who knows what they'll end up doing. Give that momentary pause in silence. I was fighting off a sneeze. Really need a dust in here or something. Okay. So we're going to get this admin tech up. I'm already improving relations there. We've already got these at plus 200, so that's great. Okay. Hit their navy there. Let's get in on this. Okay. I'm going to send these guys into the Venetian port held by Austria. Repaired. Yeah, I love that we're getting into all these battles. It's, you know, giving us a little bit of prestige. Not much, a little bit of tradition. Not super large amounts, but what's really giving us is favors. We're not expected to participate much. You know, we got 4%. So we might end up getting like 4 favors or something. And that's really exciting prospect to me, because I want that trust higher. Okay, and looks like Venice has fallen, so our fleet is being ejected. Poland declared war on the Ottomans. Hopefully this goes better than the Austrian crusade. Now we don't have any Ottoman territory marked as vital interest, so they shouldn't call us in trying to promise us that, particularly while we're still in this war. If they do try to call us in, we'll have to honor that call to arms. But I think that would be really, really bad for us. Now I think they're going to hold out and see if they can take some of this stuff for Hungary. Because Hungary would be happy to have either of those provinces. I top off those relations. I think they're pretty high, but it's near the end of the year. Okay, Crete and Croatia. They just totally snubbed us. And Crete. Yeah, we're gonna fabricate on them. Okay, I don't know if any of our allies have any interest in these islands. So we're going to keep marked as vital interest to us. Okay, and who can we rival? We can rival Crete. And Venice, as long as Venice is hostile to us. Yep, we're going to rival them. I'm afraid that Venice will put him into a trade league, but they probably want the territory back in view of this vital interest, so they might not do that. Okay, convert Athens to Catholic. Yeah, we're already working on that, so let's do that. And we got full favors. We're not going to call them into a war anytime soon, so I'm going to use those to get our trust higher. Okay. And sadly, they do have 3,000 troops there already. It's highlands, so if we're going to invade, we need definitely need more ships. So the best way to do that is honestly to take a couple of loans and just start building those ships. We shouldn't have a truce. It's usually when a country gets kicked out, it's the previous owner and the person that actually asked for it to be free. So we're going to protect our trade again, and we're going to protect against pirates. I'm going to drop this down and see if we can get another transport in the works, another cog. Alright, now we're in. It would have been really nice for us if they would have given us this territory. I'm not sure why Austria decided not to give us this province. It's Catholic, it's an accepted culture, we've been taking something from them, the person that attacked them. really isn't. There's any reason for that, as far as I can tell. And would like to get at least 2 of these ships done, depending on how many troops they build up. We might wait for that third one. Okay, we can make another 2 ships, but we just don't have the money. Okay, so don't want to do this. Genoa. I mean, there's no chance that we will win this war. But, I mean, we got to do it. Oh, hey, 75 ducats. Repay our loans. And we're going to start building up a couple more cogs. Okay, we definitely need to get our fleet out of there before Genoa's fleet catches us. Damn it. Might not happen. Get out of there. Okay. So that's definitely not ideal. And it limits our ability to attack Crete right away. So I'll give them a chance to get into a trade league. Okay, so how's this Ottoman-Polish war going? The Ottomans are winning. It looks like mostly because of the war goal. So if they can capture Silistria. Okay, got some more money. That's always nice. So we've got our force limit. I'd love to get rid of this inflation, but that's not the best use of our points when we could be getting an idea group. I'd love to get an advisor. And I might take this guy. But only if we get ourselves in a position. Or I could take this guy. Yeah, I'm taking him. I want this conversion done. I want the bonus for anything that we can capture here. And it will help us get towards our administrative technology. Yeah, this is a lost war, and the fact that we can't bring our fleets together and get naval domination means that France could potentially drop troops off over here. Milan is going to get wrecked, and the only reason why we didn't stay out of this is we didn't want to lose trust. Yeah, not a whole lot of good options at the moment. We're just going to cycle through and top off relations with everyone we can around here. Ottomans have turned hostile towards us again, so we're going to say that we're threatened towards them once again. Fortunately, we do have one asset going for us here, that this territory is highlands, and we could always... actually going to move on to the highlands. So it's it would be relatively easy for us to defend it. That doesn't mean that if France, dedicates troops to the project that we can win. Just, at least we have favorable terrain. Yeah, so this war is pretty much over. And we've got a neighbor bonus. I'm going to take this. Get a little bit of trade efficiency. Okay. So that's not the worst outcome that could have happened. Let's get everything back over here. And if we wait 22 days, we'll be able to get a 7th ship. So I'm going to pull this guy back, and we're definitely going to put that plan into motion. Right till the 1st of the month. And declare this war. We are going to go for the conquest of Crete. And hopefully we can land before they can make a new troop. I think they had a merc in the progress there because you could see their morale bumped back up for some reason. Okay, so let's break this guy off. Send him to protect trade. I would love to block pirates, but now we're going to have to block 2 zones, and we need this siege to progress as quickly as possible. We'll worry about that loan later. And we're going to improve relations with the Ottomans again. We'll leave that till the end of the year. Unfortunately, we didn't have to lose our alliance with Milan. But unfortunately, the Ottomans are winning this war. That's 2 defensive wars. Oh, they've got a bunch of rebels here, Orthodox zealots. They're not going to win, but that's definitely a problem for the Ottomans. If they coordinate here, it's feasible that they could defeat this Ottoman army, but I think the war is so decisively in the favor of the Ottomans, and Warsaw is about to fall, that if they don't get some they don't even have Lithuania in this war on their side. I knew they didn't have the Union, but I assumed that they would call Lithuania into that war. Okay, so this is progressing nicely. And we got 97% here. So there we are. Rival of our rival, sure. We're going to have a free diplomat once the siege is done. This guy's only there because that spy power gives us some sort of siege bonus. Not sure exactly. Yeah, here. It's applied directly to there's a negative penalty to the fort defense, so once it falls, we won't need that spy power. Okay, so we can pull this guy out. take this territory and all their money. Let's give us some power projection too. Okay, I don't think we can justify keeping these troops stationed here, so we need to increase the autonomy, get them back to the mainland, and start working on our mission. Okay, unfortunately I made all that money, so we can pay off that loan. That inflation is going to be killer. But at least we picked up another Greek Catholic province. We're at peace. And we're going to get this fleet out hunting pirates in Ragusa. They can still raid Crete. Not a whole lot we can do about that. I might make just like one galley and have it protecting against pirates in the Alexandria node. Okay, we're going to leave this here until the first of the year. We want those admin points. Okay, so now we got a little 4-province minor nation allied to Poland, Austria, Milan, and Aragon. I'm hoping that the Estrella. There we go. So chances are the Iberian wedding is going to come, and that is going to deny us our Aragonese ally. That is not good at all. We'll take the prestige hit. I don't care about prestige very much at the moment. We're going to get some money here. We could give this to an estate once we court. Definitely not our clergy. And I'm hoping that Austria recovers, that they go for all that territory. Styria doesn't have any allies. Tyrol does, but only Ulm. So Austria can pick that back up. Venice is in a bad position. They lost 2 coastal provinces here. I mean, they're still a strong country. I'm not going to underestimate them. Okay, so Croatia got their independence and joined trade league with Genoa. Ragusa fell to the Bosnians. I didn't watch that to see what had happened. And now we actually do have a little bit of ability to pull trade. Man, they're losing hard. And they're going to get stack wiped here. Watch. Okay, that's a problem for us. So we're going to pull this from our clergy. Yeah, we can do that. And they lost 10 influence, so great. Okay, now we could give that to a different estate. We could, for instance, give it to the nobility, but we could just call this diet and take that. So if we give it to the burghers, I'd rather give them this, though. So we're going to wait till we have this. Cord, add it to a state. Yeah, not ideal, but Francesca. Jessica the Great, we like her. Aragon, definitely. And Venice is spying on us. It's not a good sign, but it's to be expected. Okay, so they did take the Ambrosian Republic. That's good. I think that'll serve their long-term interests. Okay, Mamluks are now hostile to us. But they might change their opinion here. Ooh, okay, that's really weird. I don't know how that happened. I don't think I saw any sort of war there, so... Did they threaten war or something? Let's see what's going on with the Ottomans. I have to watch back through things. You know what? I could do our timeline. I'll go for pretty fast speed and just watch here. No clear indication of what had happened there. Okay, but anyway, the Ottomans don't have the hugest army, and hopefully their economy is suffering. They got 11 ducats in the treasury. They have 6 loans. But I don't see those rebels there. So I assume they put them down at some point. And it looks like nothing ever happened from these Orthodox, or those Greek separatists. They went over here and got wrecked by somebody. Looks like there's a lot of troops in Croatia. I'll keep an eye on that. Bosnian troops in Croatia. So, yeah, Bosnia is fighting against Genoa's entire trade league. It's not a great idea to do. Yeah, look at all those Ottomans. It's really bad for us. I'm checking on our video. Looks like it's going nicely. So I'm going to keep doing that every once in a while. I've had some problems with my headphones. They're USB. They were overcharging the USB port, drawing too much power. So it caused some problems with getting some of the recordings in the past that were coming out of the other USB port next to it. Lost a few videos that way. That's what happened to my first run as Athens, which was not as successful as this one. And I'm really worried about this. Oh wow, Castile. So I'm thinking Aragon's days are numbered one way or another. We're going to see a strong Castile, and I think I'm going to try butting up to him, but that's a long shot. Okay, I'd love to attack him, but that alliance and the trade league would doom that effort. We're losing money, but it's basically only because of this advisor, who I think we could justify firing pretty soon. But then again, we could just get subsidies from somebody, and that happened. So we'll take a look at that. Okay, so what did the Ottomans do? They forced Galicia-Volhynia to pop out of the Ottomans. They took Bessarabia, which is now called Ackerman. But Moldavia is still a vassal of Poland. And Poland still has an alliance with Lithuania. They're supporting this independence from a Ryazan against Golden Horde. We're going to see probably a strong Muscovy, because they've already taken out some of the smaller states, beaten up on Novgorod, annexed Perm. Yeah. Look at the Livonian order. That's great. Yeah, I really hope that the Burgundian inheritance goes to Austria. So I should just briefly go over what we actually need to do for this run. So it's an achievement run. We already have the achievement. Whereas Athens, we have to have 50 provinces that own universities. So obviously we need 50 provinces that are not, owned by a colonial subject nation. And we're going to add that, and we're going to court. The autonomy is still super high, but as long as we can stay at peace, that'll be ticking downward. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to complete this mission as long as the Mamluks desire Crete. And now they've rivaled Poland, so I think that one's a wash. We're just going to get rid of it. When they top off relations with them. We're not making much money from that anyway. Nice. I like that. Okay, for our first idea group, I am thinking about going for quantity. So as soon as we get this, I'm going to select quantity, and I'm going to set our focus to military. I think I can actually justify doing that right now. And we should improve relations with the papacy, and we'll top off our relations with the Ottomans again. Not really going to help. But if they lose the militarist, and he's only 20. But you never know. They tend to use people in war. I think right now they're probably more interested in the Mamluks, Akayamu, possibly Trebizond. And their mission is to take the Knights, so would definitely welcome an Ottoman-Venetian war. Sadly, I think both of our allies over here, actually all three of these allies, would dishonor an alliance if the Ottomans attacked us. So that is why we're going for the quantity. I'm going to it's kind of pointless. Why don't we try to keep Tunis out of any war involving us? Just improve those relations a little. And we can't go for Genoa. Not while they have that alliance with France. Okay, we should check to see if we can get a new rival. We can get the Knights. That sounds good. Maybe somebody has strong feelings about him one way or another. We are going to issue an embargo. We can probably do that here. Nope, still got that truce. So this isn't going to do a whole lot. But it's not a bad idea to try keeping our power projection as high as possible. Okay, we get this national idea. And again, we are going for quantity ideas. It's more important that we get caught up on military tech. And we haven't really done a whole lot here technology-wise, but you will see that we are a Western, which is nice. A lot of the people in this region are, like Byzantium or Eastern. The Knights are westernized. Cyprus is, so a lot of the Crusader states, Naxos, Genoa. Yeah, I guess it's really just Byzantium and people like Theodoro and some of these other successors. But are they Anatolian? No, they're Eastern. Okay. And what are our ideas for anyone who hasn't played this one before? Okay, so we start with a tradition, bonus 4 to tolerance of heretics, which was really good at the beginning. It spared us from some rebels, and then fort defensive plus 10%, which probably isn't going to be a huge difference until we can afford a big fort on Athens itself. And our ambition, once we get all of our ideas, is morale of armies. So that's nice. And then we get various idea groups. Legitimacy is never bad, but it's not super great. Except culture threshold, minus 15%. That can be situationally nice, but I'd rather have that sort of, I don't know. I'm not sure that that's super helpful. Diplomatic reputation, +1. I prefer +2, but this will help keep alliances and get them to join our wars. Yearly prestige, that's probably pretty bad for us. National unrest is nice. I like that kind of earlier. Missionary strength, again, that would be really nice earlier. But we're going to have to expand some more, so I welcome it. And then we get infantry and artillery combat ability. Those numbers could be larger, but I do like the fact that our infantry and our artillery will be better. And that's coming at a point when we will be using artillery. So it's nice. I like that. That's one of the stronger ideas that we have. No, so we get nothing for better relations over time, nothing for reduced coring cost, nothing for extra manpower or force limit, nothing reducing the cost of our army. So there's lots of holes that I'd like to have filled. Nothing for army tradition, siege ability, anything like that. I'm going to take this, and that should make our army look a little tougher. We're definitely going to take... We're going to go for defensive stuff, because we're probably going to be forced back onto our highlands at some point. And we're not going to be the attacker taking opportunities, sadly. Okay, we could get this and give them... It's only 11 ducats because our economy is so small. So that's nice. Okay, so they do have a queen here. And I'm expecting the Iberian wedding, but I'm hoping that Castile opts for a local noble instead. Do want a strong Aragon to help us here. And what's our long-term strategy for the 50 provinces? Well, that I don't know. I have no idea how we're going to get 50 provinces. You just have to be opportunistic. Wow, Croatia took a lot out of Bosnia. I mean, ideally, the Ottomans will crash and we will expand, and then we could just sort of push east and find 50 crappy provinces. Yeah, I like that. But when my plans start with ideally, then it's, you know, it's a long shot. The second option will be wait for the Ottomans to attack the Mamluks and weaken them, and then try pushing down into Africa. And we can even, you know, try pushing our way down here into West Africa, colonize, convert everything, have a second life as a West African nation. That I would have no shame doing that. Control the trade and the gold mines, take some economic ideas, cheapen the building. All that could be a very reasonable plan. So we'll just see what opportunities present themselves. We lost our admiral, that's sad. He was a good guy, he did a lot for our country. And yeah, that happened exactly as I expected. So we need a new ally. And I think the Pope might be a good one. Guess we're going to pull this back. He's not doing us any good. Sadly, the Pope's not going to expand a great deal once the unions happened, and they haven't been able to do too much up here. But with a weak Venice and a moderately weak Milan, and they could wait until this area leaves the empire. Okay, so let's top off relations here. We can nearly get them to 0. And I think it would make sense to try butting up to Castile. It's a really good Enrique, 454 Enrique. I wouldn't be opposed with splurging and spending a little money. This guy, I can't justify keeping now that we're no longer getting subsidies. Wouldn't mind splurging and getting a statesman, if it made the difference between a Castilian alliance or not. I want to get those relations a little higher first. Because right now, all it would net us is the royal marriage. There, and that's something we're going to take. So -3, oh, they would accept it. and that's really, really good for us. Okay, so this has been an hour and 39 minutes. I'd like to push it a little longer, but I think I will stop this video for right now, get myself a drink, and then start recording the next one. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I am RedBstrd doing a Let's Play of EU4 as Athens, where we are going for the Academical achievement. And stay tuned for more.